Hey everyone, welcome to Learning the Basics with Gus in Israel, and today I'm going to be showing you some resources if you're someone that wants to go into creative design or graphic design and you don't really know where to start. This is one of the tutorials you need to see to the end. I'm not going to make it so long. So first and first, the tool I will be using is Photoshop. Photoshop is a graphics design tool, photo editing tool also, but I've used it for a long time for my designs, so I'm going to be showing you some of the basics, just a quick way you can easily come with designs such as this one. The basics, I'm going to be showing you some resources you can be using. One of the difficult things about Photoshop, people will say, is you being able to remove background from images. I'm going to be showing you some sites that I use to get images without background, or I can use to remove background. So if you don't want to go through the stress, just follow me. First thing first, I'm going to my home and then I'm going to be creating a new file so you can follow the process. I'm going to be creating a very basic file, and the file is going to be on a print. I'm going to be using the A6 size, which I'm going to convert here. I want it to be in a square form, so it's going to be 148 by 148 millimeters. I'm going to be using CMYK. These are the color modes, and then I'm going to be using a 16-bit. This will help my image and my design to be in high resolution. I'm also using a 300 pixels resolution. This will help to make sure that my designs come out bright, and even when it's converted to image. So here, first of all, this is the Canva you're going to be seeing. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to make this thing very easy by using this as a reference. This simple, very simple Merry Xmas design. I've not added so much. This one was designed for the hotel I work for, and then you can see the logo, and then here we have the Merry Christmas right up at the background here. So it's very easy. And then we have the image of the lady with the tab. Like I said, nothing much, just something very simple. So first and first, we're going to be using the background image here, which is the color here. Here is the color code 600 by 100. So I'm just going to come here on this our plain Canva. I'm just going to click on my shape tool here, the rectangle tool, by my toolbar. Sorry, we call this place a toolbar. I'm just going to click here, and then I'm going to choose the fill. You're going to be a basic fill. So here I'm going to click on this my color palette. Let me color picker, color palette, anyway you can remember. Just click it quickly, and then I'm going to add that figure 600. You can use any color you choose though. 600 by 100, and then we have the exact same color we got from the preview image or preview design. And I'm just going to remove the stroke. We don't need any stroke here. Very simple, something like I said. And then I'm just going to drag. Sorry, my shape has round edges, so I'm going to make this to be 0 so it doesn't have round edges. And then I will just drag and drop, just drag, hold, and then now we've gotten the background. So I'm just going to adjust that a little, and then that is the first step. Very easy, just very easy. Then I'm going to bring in the text. The text here, you see here, this font is called Montserrat. Is a font. Last time I showed you in my video sorry, I showed you my video on how to install fonts. So if you don't have this font, simply go to thefont.com or search on Google, and you can download this font called Montserrat. But I already have it here, so I'm going to use my font tool here on the toolbar. I'm just going to click, and there we have it. Okay, and there we have it. So I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to just type what are we going to type? We're going to say Merry, M-E-R-R-Y. No, you can't see that, as I'm going to adjust this. Like I said, I don't want to make this class too difficult. This is 8 Montserrat. I'm going to increase the font size here, or you can even use here, or just type in the figure you need. I'm going to make this 90, and then I'm going to change the Montserrat, the style, from thin to black. I'm not really seeing this. I'm going to change it to black, and there is quite big. This is black color, it's not a problem. We'll simply come to our properties, the font properties, and then I can make it the red this way. You can adjust it to make it probably a bit darker, and then okay, like I said, something very simple, something very simple. So this is the first step. I just steal that a little. Simple. Now I want to add an image. Now assuming I don't have this image here, I have this image here. Now these resources are going to be very important. As I said, watch to the end. Now I use resources such as Pexels, pexels.com to download some of the pictures I need. So I can just say go search. So this site is called Pexels, Pexels. So this is one of the places I get some of my resources. So assuming this, if this could work, I'm going to use that. If it's not going to work, I'm not going to use that. So let's keep going. We have this one here, the lady with sitting close to the Xmas tree. But I just need something very simple, something very simple. So let's see. Okay, I will settle for this just for reference purpose. I'm just going to click the download button, and it's going to download right here. So we're waiting for it to download. Now while we're waiting for it to download, you definitely know that you're going to be removing the background. It already came with a background. As you can see, it comes with a background. So for me to be able to remove my background, the next resource platform I use, or the next website I use for quick background removal, for quick one, you can see, is what we call remove.com. Please take note of all these platforms. Remove.com. I'll simply drag my image. I just downloaded, drag over the site, and voila, it's going to upload. Okay, so as you can see, automatically immediately I uploaded the image, it removed the background just by dropping the image. Remove.bg removes the background for you automatically, and then I'll just click here to download. So download the preview. If you want it to download in high resolution, it means you need to unlock, which is payment service. You have to subscribe to one of their plans. So quickly, I'm just going to drag this image from where it's downloaded, just drag it straight to my Photoshop document, which is this. So you can see I just held and dragged, and there we have it. We now have the lady with the cookies. Simple as that, and just check. So now we've added an image. So it's just as simple as it can be. So remember, the first platform I got the image from is called Pexels, or Pexels, Pexels.com. Then the second place I used to remove the background image is remove.bg. So now we have the Mary twice. I'm just going to Control J, it duplicates what we have there, duplicates it. Now, like I said, something very simple, something very easy to do, and then we're not really doing much of the designs. And then you can see here, that is that. And then finally, if I want to add some write-up, you can see this for this image now, for this text here, the Mary, this other Mary here, it has outline but does not have a fill. Now that can be done. Let me quickly do this before we move ahead. I'm going to duplicate again, which is Ctrl J. Then I have this. Then I'm going to drag it in above the lady. Now we still have it still has the background, the red background. So what I'm going to do, please watch this closely, is I'm going to right click on the layer here, this part here where we have all this, is called the layer. I'm going to right click on it and then click blending option. And then in the blending option, I'm not going to do something to it, I'm just going to give it a stroke, this stroke here. Now the stroke, I'm going to click on the stroke, and then I'm going to change the color of the stroke to something, say white, just one basic color. You can increase the size of the stroke by say 10. That makes it bigger. I'm going to OK that, and then I'll return here and I'll reduce the fill, which is this red. I'm going to reduce it to 0, just the fill. Automatically that affects just the fill, but our outline shows. So this is how simple it was to create this. And then I'll just bring in my Christmas decorations, my gifts, the candlestick, and then this gift wrap. Now to be another set I'm going to show to you immediately before I end this class is what I call PNG wing. pngwing.com. pngwing is a site you can also download images, vector images, shapes, vector shapes, name it. So what I'm going to search for here, at first when you open it for the first time, it might ask you to see an ad, watch an ad. I'm going to look for gifts, Xmas gift for instance. Let's see. It's going to give us a whole lot of Xmas related images. Xmas related images. You can even see this one with Santa coming to town. Santa is coming to town. So quickly, let's see something very simple. Any of this can work. Something very simple. So I'm going to be using this first. Let's click this. Let's download this, and then I'm just quickly going to click on download. The file size is quite large. It's going to ask me to watch an ad. I'm just going to close. For this one, we're just going to close it, and then it will ask me to just, this is like I said, the first time it will ask you to do all this verification and know what have you to show to indicate that you're not a robot. I'm just going to click that, and then I'll look at this instruction. You click in order N, 7, T, and D, and the image starts downloading. Simple as that. Okay, so the image has downloaded. I'll just quickly drag it again to my Photoshop file. Here we go to my Photoshop document. I'll just drop it here just to add a little bit of Christmas feel to it. I'm just going to adjust this a little, adjust it, adjust. I can position it any way I want, anyway. I can even drop it this way. I can just, okay, let's keep it by the side for instance, and then we can even duplicate this, Ctrl J again, and then rotate it to the side, which I'm going to do here. I'm just going to click this edge, and then I will change the rotation this way, negative, so you can see it swaps, and that is it. So with this, you can continue with whatever you want to do. You can add more text. You can change the position of this lady, for instance. You can drop it this way or make it smaller, anything you want to do. But these are just the basic steps you can begin. So if you're having fear of to start designing Photoshop and what have you, it's tedious. Yes, it might be tedious, but you can start this way. Push yourself to start this way. These are the basics. These are the things you can do. I can now arrange these things to probably suit the way I want it to appear. I can change the write-ups to maybe Merry Xmas. This one should not be the Xmas, maybe XMAS if I want it that way. And then I can also make it go behind the lady. Just drop it from the layer, just drop it below the image of the lady. Sorry, my system is lagging a little because I have so many applications open. So this can even come this way, and then you can now add more write-ups about your business. You can add your business logo in case at the top. You can just write maybe your contact address, maybe you're giving some particular discounts. Now if you watch this lady, she has rough edges here, so you want to make her blend a little bit into the background. Very easy. Click on this max icon here, just click on it, hit B on your keyboard, and then you can just rub over her a little. So you want to make her fade into the background a little. That is it. That is necessary. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Till we meet again.